Good morning, friends of Faith Before Fitness. Today we are in Orlando doing this workout. I'm with one of my best friends, Eileen. I'm going to be training her. You can't see her because she doesn't want to be on screen. So, this is going to be like a personal training session, but you just won't see my client. We have resistance bands. This is going to be a full body resistance band workout. This is how you work out when you're traveling. Don't go anywhere without your band. All you need is a band. And today our verse is from Numbers 6:24. The Lord bless you and keep you. Let his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. I'm going to put it down in the comments so you know exactly what that verse says. So we're going to get started with a warm-up of sorts. So it's one of my favorite movements for posture. So you're going to take your band and hold it here. You're going to raise it up and pull and down, up, pull and down, pull, and you can inhale, exhale, down, inhale, exhale, and try to keep your hands in line with your shoulders. Try not to come above your shoulders and try to keep a very good posture. So when you're doing this, you want your posture. You can even stand against a wall and put your head against the wall to make sure this is really making your posture good. This is one of those exercises that strengthens your rotator cuff that is so much neglected in exercise. I always tell you guys, people don't usually work out their rotator cuff until they blow out their rotator cuff, and then they go to physical therapy and they're given all their rotator cuff exercises. So always do your rotator cuff exercise. Another rotator cuff exercise you could do with your band is to hold your band like this and separate it. So you're going to keep it here and then open, keep your elbows in and open it like you're opening up a book and close. So open and close. So put your hands this way, keep your elbows together, externally rotate your hands so your thumbs go out and open. Yeah, your band is heftier than mine, so maybe you could do one side at a time, like hold. So this is a modification because Eileen's band is much heftier than mine. So hold it with one side. So if your band is hefty, just do one side at a time and like hold it in the center and find a resistance that is good for you. Is that better? Rotator cuffs aren't super strong, so you're never going to do super amounts of weight with your rotator cuff. So if your band is wimpier, you can do both at the same time. If you got the heftier band, just keep your elbow in, so don't let your elbow come away from your body, and do like that. All right, so a chest exercise. First we're going to do some openers, some circles, some external rotation. It's always good to get some external rotation in there with these backward circles. Yeah, and then we can do alternating swimmers. And we can do little faster circles. Right. So now this is one, if you have a really wimpy band, you can take your band like this. Our first one's going to be a chest exercise, and you can see my band is not wimpy enough to do this, so I'm going to have to show you a modification. So I'm going to hold my band like this so I can work one side at a time and do a chest press with my band. But you can use your other, because you have the tube, long tube, so you can just put the tube. So say you don't have one of these, but you have the other kind of band that you could step on, put it around under your armpits and don't hold the handles. Hold the, yeah, there. So now you could do both hands at the same time with that, but you also can still do a single arm press. So I like to do single arm presses. So let's just do one arm at a time. You also can put that around the post like this. So if you have a resistance band, you could put it around the post and go like this. Let me see this one, and I can show them too. So Eileen also has one of these. So this is something you can do like this, and then you can do your chest press like this. All right, or you could do singles, and you can alternate. All right, so if you want to put yours on that post, while I use this guy. So mine's going to be modified like this, and I'm going to do one arm at a time. So I'm going to do, with band workout, it's lightweight. So you can do up to 15 reps with band workouts unless you have a hefty one like Eileen has. So with these, I'll do 15 reps on each side. So always make sure you exhale, inhale. And sometimes I find that to be more comfortable if you put it under your arms, Eileen. Is that better?
Yeah, that's different.
And then another thing that happens, don't let your body come forward and back. So I'm seeing Eileen's body go forward and back with her band. Make sure you plant yourself completely still. Use your core muscles as you press. And you can even stagger one foot
That's what I was thinking.
and make your core. Your core works a lot more than you think it does in a chest exercise, because you have to brace yourself and try one arm at a time, and then it'll work your core even more. All right, so how was I doing this? Oh, takes more coordination on this side. All right, here we go. So again, I'm holding it like this and then pressing like this. So a nice one arm chest press here. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so I'm going to borrow.
Did the other side.
Oh, she didn't do her other side, so I'm going to do another set on here. And you could too. 2, 3, 5. Don't let yourself rock. Keep that core working. 10.
I don't know why it looks so different on the other side.
Are you stronger on one side?
Maybe. This is my left.
Yep, everybody's got muscle imbalances. Stronger on one side. That's the really good thing about working single arm or unilaterally. It doesn't just need to be with your arm. Any kind of single body part, you'll really be able to find where your muscle imbalances are. So if you have a super muscle imbalance, I've worked with people with strokes who one side of their body is way stronger than the other side. So that weak side will always match the weak side weight. That's what we'll start with. Even though the strong side could do more weight, we start with the weak side. Whatever the weak side is able to do, that's what we work with. And we'll do, say we just did 2 sets on our chest press. So what will happen is, if we started on the weak side, then we're going to do a 3rd set for the weak side. So if you're doing 3 rounds, or 2 rounds, you're going to do 3 rounds for the weak side. If you're doing 3 sets, you're going to do 4 sets for the weak side. Just try to get that weak side matching the strong side. So that's if you notice you have a muscle imbalance. Now we're moving on to our back muscles. So I'm going to borrow this again. because I love to use this kind of band for back exercises. So if you have this kind of band, you can do rows like this. And you also can do the single arm row. You can do the alternating rows. And then you also can do, my favorite is a squat to row. Now Eileen has bad knees. She's been told by her doctor that she shouldn't do more than a half squat. So if you have bad knees, it shouldn't keep you from squatting. It should just keep you just go into, instead of going to a 90-degree squat, we do a 45-degree squat. So squat, come up and squat. So that's one of my favorite exercises for back and squats, getting them in at the same time. Now, for this, we have this band. So you've gone on vacation and all you have is this band. So you're going to row like we did, like you can even put this around something and row with this, like that. I mean, you're not gonna get a super amount of resistance, but you're still getting something, which is better than nothing. You're moving. Yeah, good. So there's your little squat. Keep your chin up. And you go into your squat. There you go. Much better. And row. So we could do squat to row with this. So we're going to do squat and row. You should not go more than 8 on your knees to aggravate them. Even if 6, just go until your knees. Eileen has bone on her knees. So you never want to overdo anything when you have a situation like that. So anywhere you can do a 6 rep, or even if you're feeling too much pain at 3 reps, don't take it past that. So we're doing a squat and a row. And then I wouldn't ever have you go more than 10 reps on your knees. But I think 8. 8 is always a magic number for people with osteoporosis, rheumatoid arthritis, or any sort of arthritis, because it's a moderate number where you're not overdoing anything. And with osteoporosis, you want to do no more than 8 because you want to be able to use as much weight as you can to build your bone density. So this is my squat to row like this. How many did you end up doing?
Well, I did like 8 with the squat and another 15 with this thing.
Oh, just the rows? Yeah, so you could do, yeah, like 15 rows if you want without doing the squat. All right. So that was our back shoulder press. So again, you can hold this right here and do a 1-arm shoulder press like this. With that one, with that kind of band, you can stand on it sometimes, but if you're short like me, most of the time you can. But if you're taller, a lot of times you won't have enough. It'll be too much tension for you to be able to take it overhead. Or yeah, you could do one at a time and scoot your band out to the side so that you can make your band longer. But you probably wouldn't be able to do double presses with that band because you would not have enough resistance. So, and then do like this. And if you have bad shoulders, you don't want to really be going overhead for shoulder exercises. So instead, another good shoulder exercise would be a band pull apart. So you can stay always at your shoulder level, not above it. If you have had any kind of shoulder issue. A band pull apart is always going to be a safe exercise. Try to keep your hands, your thumbs externally rotated like this, and open up like that. And you can try this one with your other band if you want to. Or your band might be too, that band might be too, tight. But you could also do it with your other one. So take the other one. So if you have one of those long tube bands, then you can take it just wherever, usually around hip distance apart is good. But don't wrap it around your hands. So Eileen just wrapped it around her hands. So don't ever wrap your band around your hands, especially if you have, especially if you're a senior, should I say. So just hold the band in the palms of your hands like this and externally rotate and pull it apart like this. Wrapping it around your hands can cut off your circulation. So here's this again, your press, either your press or your pull apart or both, depending on what you like better. And you can do a set of presses with a set of pull aparts if you wanted to do that. All right. So our next one is going to be rotation exercises. So with this, I'm going to see how well I can do. I guess I could do a rotation a little bit with this. So this is going to be put on here, and well, see, I thought maybe that wouldn't be a good idea. This could happen to your band, but I'm not going to edit this out because all is not lost with this band. This band now has turned into something that now I was telling you, you can use this for band pull aparts, and now you'll be able to use it for more things like doing triceps, like that. So never throw away a band that broke like this one, unless it's an unsafe band to use. So rotation, I will have to show you rotation with this band. So let me demonstrate with that, and then you can do it. So with this band, the sturdier band, you can do some rotation exercises by hooking this here and taking it out to the side, like that. And if it's too much with one handle, with two handles, you can do it more like this and just do one handle at a time instead of both. You can do rotation exercises with no band at all by just taking your body and squeeze the palms of your hands together to make the resistance. So you're just going to attach your band on there and hold the handles and rotate and rotate. And if it's too sturdy, you just use one handle and keep, because you want to get your hands extended out. There you go. Yeah, so just one handle, keep one handle in and rotate with one. Any way that you want to rotate. And then rotating from both directions. And then rotation, a chop is also a rotation. So you can do chop. Like this. So try the other handle so that you're doing this way. There you go. Because you're doing, or like, and make your body pivot. Your feet will pivot. So there, and rotate across. Rotate across. Yeah, like that. So this is good standing core workout. All right, and now turn and face the other way so you can do your other side. So that's a good rotation. So for the next portion, I'm going to tie my broken band together. No excuses here, because on our next exercises, I want a circle band. And now I don't have a circle band because it just broke, but that's not gonna make me give up. So now I've tied it together. We'll see how that does. And we are going to do some band walking. So these are some really good exercises to do to strengthen your hips and to help with knee issues, because if you have weak hips, it means it's probably going to affect your knees, it's going to affect your lower back, it could even affect your feet. Same thing as if you have feet problems, it could affect your knees and it could affect your hips, so the whole kinetic chain. So this is a good exercise to do. There's a lot of exercises you could do, but we're going to start with just band walking, side to side, like this. And try to keep your feet parallel. So I noticed Eileen's feet were like coming out like this as she was going, and her feet were turning. So you want to try to keep your feet completely parallel. When you push out, push completely over to the side and push. And try to use your hips to make this movement happen. Push. And so my band is not sturdy enough for my liking. So I'm going to put it down at my feet. That will be more resistance for me. So the lower you put your band, the more challenging the exercise becomes. So I'm going to do this. So I like to do these with the Cupid shuffle. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left, and kick, 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 kick. So there's just fun things you could do with the band. How far are you going over there? Eileen's going all the way down the boardwalk. I've lost my client. So I'm gonna keep on. Oh, another thing I like with band walking is just doing singles, side to side. Since I love dancing, singles makes me feel like I'm dancing. I feel better when I'm dancing, better when I'm dancing. Oh yeah. You feeling it yet? Oh gosh. Try singles now. Let's try going singles. Whew. Faster. There you go. I'm feeling the burn. Alright. So now you might want to get yourself some balance. Just hold on like right here. And then we're going to take them out to the side. And again, lead this with your hips and keep your feet straight. We're gonna go for 15. 10 and 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm gonna band myself over to this side. Hold on over here. The thing that I always have to tell clients when they're doing something like this is when they go to do their thing, they'll usually lean to one way or the other, but keep your body completely vertical and just use that glute medius. 6, 7, 8, 10, 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and you can do this time for your glute maximus. So I like to step on one side and then have the other side looped around my ankle. And this one, the only thing that's happening is your foot is coming back because you're squeezing your glute, not because you're kicking, not because you're leaning. So some people will do this and think that they're doing the exercise, but the movement should only happen by squeezing your glute. So we're going to do 15 of these. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, the standing leg. I mean, that one really. That's another thing that I like about doing work with bands, doing work standing up, because you could do this like a hamstring curl on the machines, but you're not going to get this balance aspect of it, and you're not going to get your standing leg working as much as you do with this. All right, now we're going to do monster walk. Monster walk, you can have it at your heels or up higher, but this is going to be heel, toe, and you keep your legs separated.
Keep it up here.
But try to keep it's the easiest or least challenging when it's up high. It gets more and more challenging as you take the band lower. So that's up to you how you want it. But this is another thing, you want to keep your toes and knees facing forward. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. And keep your posture up, don't lean forward, and then you're going to go back with a toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Keep your bands separated. So try it down at your ankles and see if that works better for you. Keep it separated and do your toe, heel, heel, toe, heel, toe. All right. So that one is monster walk. So, hinging or lunging. All right, we haven't done any lunging. So, you don't really need any equipment or a band at all for lunging. If you do want to incorporate a band into a lunge, like you could do a back lunge and a row, or you can just stay in a back lunge and do an isolation lunge and row, or you could do a split squat and row. Oh, I like this one. So, split squat and row. Split squat and row. So on a split squat, you want your body to be in one straight line from the top of your head to your tailbone. So I've learned a lot through the years. I used to think it was best form to be like upright, up and down like this, but it really isn't. You want to always be in one straight line from the top of your head to your We're still here. Technical difficulties a little bit. All right. Wind blew the phone. At least it didn't blow it into the water. And the helicopter. It's always an event when I film for you outside. All right. So, in the split squat, load your glute. Try not to load your knee at all. You want to load your glute. You want to press into your heel. Press off of your heel and come up and squeeze this glute and this one. Now again, you probably shouldn't do more than 8 because you're working with your knees. Right. So that's that side. Anybody at all ages should be able to do a split squat because it's a very functional move that you do in real life. If you need to pick something up off the floor, give your dog or your kitty some food in their bowl, you need to be able to reach down, and a split squat is a good way to do that. Keep your chin up a little, yeah, so that you're one straight line from the top of your head to your tailbone, and you're loading your glute, you're not loading your knee. That's the important part of these lunges. Alright, so that's our lunge with row. And now hinge. Hinge, we're going to hinge like this and come up. Now let's see about adding our band to our hinge. So if you wanted to add, so this would be a single leg deadlift. You're holding onto your band and you're going to come up and squeeze, but you don't need to be doing that hyper extension that people like to do on the end of a deadlift. So at the end of the deadlift ends with the squeeze of your glutes, your chin tucked in, and your traps contracted. Like this, not like that. All right, so here we go. Down, up and squeeze. We'll do 15 of these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 5 more. 5, 4, 3, I'll do it from this angle a little bit so it is. 2, and 1. All right, so if you are a friend of Faith Before Fitness, hopefully you know by now, my channel is not about perfection. Yes, I want your form to be perfect as much as possible because form matters. But my technical skills are never going to be perfect. So I don't edit. I don't know how to edit because I film off of my phone and you can't even edit things out. So my phone dropped. Got to deal with it. Life happens. You can't edit through life. Right, Eileen? Yeah. You make a mistake, you can't edit it out. You have to live through it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Well, thank you for joining me this happy Monday for this full body exercise with all the different movement patterns you could do with resistance bands. So I'll see you tomorrow for another video and another scripture. See you then. Bye-bye.